When we walked in, the staff was kind of standing up and assembled along the wall, and the president was at the desk, and Dan Scavino was on the couch, and the president was dictating a tweet that he wanted Scavino to send out. Then the president started talking about the rally the next day. He had the door of the Oval open to the Rose Garden because you could hear the crowd already assembled outside on the ellipse, and they were playing music, and it was so loud that you could feel it shaking in the Oval. He was in a very good mood, and I say that because he had not been in a good mood for weeks leading up to that, and then it seemed like he was in a fantastic mood.
Mike Warnicle, what they're talking about here is the president was being told by a lot of his people who worked in the White House that he lost the election. And then he was hearing outside the White House the mobs beginning, the people coming, and he was joyous that people were coming to fight for him, that they were there in his defense. It's a scene that's really hard to imagine, and yet this is what played out. This is how close we came.
Mika, you know, yesterday's revelations, while not surprising in one sense, were shocking. Shocking, absolutely shocking, as well as what Claire McCaskill said, depressing. A malignancy occupied the Oval Office, an office where Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, Ronald Reagan, others, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon Johnson, you name it, men of honor, men of history, sat and occupied that office and tried to do their daily duty for the country. A malignancy occupied the Oval Office. A twisted, corrupt individual was president of the United States. We just saw Stephanie Murphy, who's going to be on with us a bit later. She was born in Vietnam, in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City. She's a gift to America, and America gave her the gift of who we are and what we can do. And this one man, who I refuse to name, who occupied the Oval Office, instead of doing his duty, became a political arsonist and tried to burn us down, tried to burn down democracy. And Claire, to your point, that while it was depressing to watch, you wondered about the strength that still exists in his movement in Missouri and elsewhere. I want to know from you what your opinion is of some of your Republican colleagues, former colleagues in the United States Senate, who seem not to understand, comprehend, or do anything about the daily danger that this man still presents.
I think history is going to be cruel to not only Trump, but, you know, if you look at his concentric circles, Trump's in the middle, then you had his inner circle, and that inner circle divided into two, Team Crazy and Team Normal. We're hearing from Team Normal in these hearings. They are finally, they've grown a spine, and they finally are saying out loud what they should have been saying out loud in December of 2020. But the other concentric circle that we leave alone way too often are the hundreds of elected Republican officials that to this day are embracing the seditious conspiracy, embracing it by saying nothing, by not, people want to talk about Todd Aiken and me beating Todd Aiken. That had everything to do with Republicans standing up and condemning what he'd said. Republicans are the ones who condemned Todd Aiken, a member of their own party. None of them, with the exception of Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, Mitt Romney, and every once in a while a couple of others, have stood up to this man and said, stop it. You're messing with our democracy, you idiot. And I do not understand it, and I think history will judge them very harshly.